All right, let's jump right in with a question. It sounds simple, but you'd be surprised how many executives it trips up. Can you, right now, say what your company's strategy is?
Seriously, give it a shot. Could you boil it down to 35 words or less? And here's the kicker. If I asked your colleagues, would they give me the exact same answer? Yeah, it's a whole lot tougher than it sounds, isn't it?
Look, if you struggled with that, you are definitely not alone. The Harvard Business Review calls this a dirty little secret in business. And it's a huge deal. Just think about it for a second. If the leaders can't even state the strategy in a clear, simple way, how on earth is anyone else supposed to know what to do? How can they possibly execute it? So, how do we fix this mess? Here's our game plan. First, we're going to dig into why this is such a common problem. Then, I'm going to give you a really simple but powerful framework to cut through the confusion. After that, we'll see how some big-name companies use it. And finally, we'll talk about how you can find your own strategic sweet spot. Okay, part one, the strategy problem. I like to call this the chaos of misalignment. You know that feeling, right? When everyone is working incredibly hard, running around like crazy, but the company just isn't moving forward. The source article uses this fantastic metaphor. Picture every single employee in your company as a tiny iron filing. Without some kind of guiding force, what do you have? You've got thousands of smart, talented people, but all their hard work is just scattered. They're all pointing in different directions, sometimes even canceling each other out. It's pure organizational chaos. And this isn't some abstract business school theory. This is real life. This chaos shows up as real, everyday frustrations. People pour their hearts into projects that get shut down with no explanation. They hear one thing from one leader and the complete opposite from another. And frontline employees have to make crucial decisions, like whether to discount a product with absolutely no clue how it fits into the bigger picture. But what happens when you bring a powerful magnet near those scattered iron filings? Wham! They all instantly snap into alignment, pointing in the same direction, creating this incredibly strong, unified force. That magnet, that's a clear, simple strategy. It's a thing that aligns thousands of individual decisions and makes the entire company so much more effective. So, if the problem is chaos, the solution has to be clarity. And lucky for us, there's a simple and really powerful tool for getting that clarity. Let's get into the strategy framework. Okay, first things first, let's be super clear about what a strategy is not. It's not your mission. Your mission is why you exist. It's not your vision. That's what you hope to become in the future. Your strategy is your competitive game plan. It's the nitty-gritty, actionable plan for how you're actually going to win in the marketplace. And a great strategy statement really just boils down to three key parts. You've got your objective, that's the end goal, and it has to be specific and have a deadline. Then there's your scope. That's your domain, where you're going to play, and just as important, where you are not going to play. And finally, the most important part, your advantage. This is the means, what makes you unique and better than anyone else. Let's double-click on that advantage piece, because it's really the engine of your whole strategy. It has two parts. First, the value proposition. That's your promise to your customer. Why should they choose you? And second, your unique activities. These are the things you do inside your company, the whole system you've set up that allows you to deliver on that promise in a way that others just can't copy. Okay, that's the theory. But theory is kind of useless unless we see how it works in the real world, right? So let's take a look at how some incredibly successful companies put this exact framework into action. Let's start with the brokerage firm Edward Jones. Their strategy statement is just a masterclass. Check this out. The objective? Grow to 17,000 advisors by 2012. Super specific. The scope? Not just any investors, conservative investors who delegate decisions. And the advantage? Trusted face-to-face advice from a huge network of small, one-person offices. It's all right there. And you can see how every single word in that statement has a purpose. Just that one word, conservative, tells them exactly what not to do. It means they don't cater to day traders, no complex high-risk products. It meant that back when the whole industry was freaking out and rushing to build online trading platforms, they could just ignore it because it didn't serve their strategy. That is the power of focus. And here's the how behind their advantage. It's not just one thing. It's a whole system of things that work together. Having thousands of these little one-advisor offices is crazy expensive, sure, but it perfectly delivers on that promise of convenient and trusted advice. And when you put it all together, it creates a business model that is incredibly difficult for a competitor to replicate.
Now, let's talk about Walmart because they are absolute masters of the strategic trade-off. Their value proposition is all about low prices and selection. And to make that happen, they make a very deliberate choice to be, well, not so great on things like fancy store design or having tons of sales help. They get that you can't be amazing at everything, so they choose to be world-class on price and just good enough on the other stuff. And this table really drives the point home. There is no single best strategy. Look at this. Edward Jones, Merrill Lynch, Wells Fargo, all successful brokerages, but they compete in completely different ways. They picked different customers to serve, they made different promises, and they built totally different companies to deliver on those promises. Strategy is all about making choices. Okay, this all leads us to the grand finale, and maybe the most important part of this whole discussion, finding your sweet spot. This is where all comes together. So, after all this work, this is the goal. This is what you're looking for, your strategic sweet spot. It's that beautiful little overlap between three circles: what your customers actually need, what your company is uniquely amazing at doing, and, crucially, in a way your competitors can't easily match. That intersection, that's where the magic happens. That's your space to own. So, we're back where we started, but now you're armed with a new tool. You have the framework: objective, scoped, and advantage. You've seen how powerful it is for some of the biggest companies in the world. So the only question left is, what's your strategy? What's your sweet spot?